The landscape of Boston was stunning. There were large buildings lining the streets and trains running in the city. It was very different from the streets of old Tokyo that Joe had seen. The other sailors got off the ship and went back to their homes. But Joe had nowhere to go. Joe went into town and bought an English version of Robinson Crusoe and read it on the Wild Rover. He prayed to God like Robinson, who had washed up on a deserted island, comparing that situation to his own. One day, a bearded man came to the Wild Rover. Can you guess who he is? This is Joe, a fine young man. He came to America in violation of a national law in order to rebuild Japan. I can assure you that he's very sincere and has a great interest in Christianity. Captain Taylor introduced Joe to Mr. Hardy, the owner of the Wild Rover. Joe desperately tried to explain why he had come to America. However, his English was too poor to convey what he wanted to say. Nevertheless, Mr. Hardy could understand that Joe had come to America with a definite purpose. So he asked him to put his plan down in writing later. Joe jotted down his thoughts. He wrote about his family and his life in old Tokyo, what Japan was like at the time, and how America was a free and advanced country in comparison. He thought this is because Americans believe in Christianity, and so he too wanted to learn about Christianity. Having read this, Mr. and Mrs. Hardy were truly touched. They bought him some clothes and other things he needed. They found a homestay for him and made the necessary arrangements to enroll him in school. Thus began his life in America as a son of Mr. and Mrs. Hardy.